And this is just audio, right?
Yeah, I was gonna put videos up on YouTube, but that's not
Yeah.
my main thing. So,
Yeah.
but
My cats like to jump in and
hey,
stuff.
that's fine with me. It's
I'm like,
life.
okay, Lucy.
Hey,
You're
that's
like,
real
hey,
life. It's
who
all
you
right with
talking
me.
to? That's my mama.
So I got 4 dogs in their cages, so they might
Oh
bark.
my
Who
gosh.
knows? So we'll
Uh-huh.
see. But yeah,
All
we'll
right.
just go with it.
Let's
So,
do it.
all right. All right. Well, we just want to welcome Amie Barsky to the show. Amie, thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. We're glad we're going to get some good information from you and be able to learn more about how to go from having negative stuff in our life to living a healthy, positive life and maybe healing as well. So tell us a little about yourself and what you do and how you got there kind of.
Oh, fantastic. So I am a healthy habits and empowerment coach. And that just basically means that I have clients that come to me in a place of frustration, feeling like they're stuck on that hamster wheel, really just feeling overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, and maybe even depressed. And I help them get into a better state of mind through subconscious reprogramming and emotional intelligence, and just really allowing our neuroplasticity, which is our mind, to
Yep.
reform itself into positive thoughts and inspired action, because it's not just about the way you think, it's the inspired action you take behind your thoughts. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and
That's
I've had
awesome.
great success. And for me, it comes from I guess for me, I suffered from severe anxiety and
Okay.
deep depression for many, many years of my life, into my young adult life, actually from my teenage years into my young adult life, and probably still even more to my mid 30s. And I just finally was at a really low point, and I was like, not, I'm done. Like I quit
Hmm.
the relationship I was in. I quit the jobs I had. I quit the bullshit that I was telling myself. And I was just like, I have to, there was like this little bit of light still left inside of me that said something, life has got to be better than this. There's got
Yeah.
to be something better than where I'm at right now. And I knew that. I just didn't know how. And my how was first meditation,
Mm.
moving through states of meditation and breathing exercises and reducing the anxiety, which helped with the depression. And then actually hiring my own life coaches. I kind of became like a self-help guru for a while, or a junkie for a while. Like
Yeah.
I was reading all the books and seminars and what to do and how to do. And so that really helped me understand why our brains do what they do, and how we can so simply um, re, um, adjust that,
Mm.
pivot, if you will,
Yeah.
right? If I'm having a
Yeah.
bad day, if I'm having a negative thought, I can choose to pivot my mindset.
That's
And so,
awesome.
yeah, so that's kind of like my
Cool.
background and where I came from. And I was, yeah, just struggling like many
Yeah.
of us in the world.
All
And
right.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying my life is perfect right
All
now.
right.
That's not the reality. I still have moments where I'm feeling like, what is happening,
Right.
But I have the tools now and the mindset to be able to pivot more smoothly
Hmm.
and without letting myself spiral into that dark depression or severe anxiety.
That's
And I
awesome.
think that's the key, because we're all have
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yep.
We all have states of like getting angry or frustrated or overwhelmed. We have to understand that if we have tools to help us and techniques to help us understand where it's coming from, why it's coming up, and how we can move through it more easily, that's the key to life.
Absolutely. And I think I want to commend you first off for being able to take that step and realizing, hey, this is a bunch of crap and I'm not going to deal with it anymore. And I'm going to do what's best for me so I can be a
Mhm.
healthy life or have a healthy life and be able to help others. And so
Yes.
a lot of people struggle with being able to do that. So that's awesome that you're
And
able
that
to take
is,
that
you
step.
you hit the nail on the head,
Yeah.
Chris. It is the first step to acknowledge that
Yep.
we have a choice. And choice is our greatest power,
Absolutely. Yeah.
you
And
know?
that's the first step. And um, I think it was cool how you incorporated how the brain works and how we have to harness that power and make those pathways more prevalent and use those correct pathways
Mhm.
more than the
Mhm.
negative ones. And so um, I guess what do you think that, or is there something else that causes people to struggle so much with having that external facade of, oh, everything's good, everything's perfect, or I'm happy, but inside they're kind of just depressed or upset or mad? Like, what do you think's the reason people kind of put on that fake front?
Society.
Yeah.
Society tells us to.
Hmm.
Society says this is the way your life should be. You should go to college, get an education, find a person to marry,
Mm.
start having families, start buy a house, have a white picket fence, have the 2 cars, take a vacation, blah, blah, this is,
Yeah.
we're like, we're robots. Like, this is the way we're moving through this world that we live in. And more, I will say, more America than anywhere else. I've well traveled and well versed in many, many, many cultures. And I find it is mostly here in the States that this is our programming. This is the
Hmm.
way you should do it to be successful. Work hard, work hard, work hard.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what kind of job you take, as long as you're putting food on the table and you can provide for your family.
Oh
So we
man,
get
that's,
stuck on the
yeah.
hamster wheel of living in a place of like, I hate my job. I hate my job, and feeling like you can't do anything about it. And then that's it. And then we put on the guilt and the shame. Well, if I leave my wife, my husband, my family, my mom, my kids, so now we're taking care of everybody else. We're
Yep.
saying, okay, well, I got to fill everyone's cup up and make sure they're okay, but I'm going to empty and deplete my own cup.
Yeah.
And that's where we get the resentment,
Mm.
the anger, and then we fall into depression.
Yeah. And I have a friend that I've been talking with, and he's struggling with his job right now. He's complains all the time. He's
Yeah.
coming home just worn out, sore, physically sore, mentally exhausted. It's making negatives, parts of his health. But he hesitates on quitting because his thought is, well, it's going to hurt the company. They're going to be hurting if I leave because of his role there. He said, I don't want to let the other employees down that I actually enjoy working with. And I
Yeah.
said, man, you got to, like, if you're that way, you're not truly being able to help them the way you are. And I think that's so true. And I am not as well traveled, but I've read so much about different countries being more, I guess, work-life balanced, and care for the health and well-being of
Mhm.
people, more than America for sure. And with my background as an industrial athletic trainer, I see that firsthand, just in different factories, in different settings, within that. People just, they don't want to take the PTO or the time off. They feel obligated to stay. They feel bad using it. And it's like, you have that for a reason. You have to take care of yourselves. And it's a vicious cycle. It really is. And it takes a whole different mindset if we're going to change this. And it's crazy. I'm curious, where that you've been, have you thought had the best kind of work-life balance?
Hmm. Well, I've been to a few third world countries,
Okay.
and I feel like their focus is family and friends and community,
Yep.
and um, they just simplify everything.
Yeah.
Everything's so simplified. So I was in Malawi
Okay.
in Africa, and I lived in a home there. I was with a bunch of friends. We were building a
Mm-hmm.
school, and you really got to be immersed in the culture when you did this particular project. And I was like blown away that everyone sings and dances every night. They play soccer. There's no, I mean, some of the communities had cell phones, but it wasn't about TV or iPads, and it wasn't electronics. It was about community meals. Everyone comes together. Like, cousins would come over for dinner, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, what everyone came and communed and cooked together, and just really, it was all about connection and having
Yeah.
conversation. And it was less about being in the phone and being on the TV. And, it was
Yep.
more the stimulation of with each other, and really getting like, how was your day, and having
Right.
conversation, and really caring about, how are you? Not just saying, like in America, we say, hey, how you doing? Fine. Like,
Yeah.
they're not
Just
even done the sentence
going. Yep.
and they say fine. Or even I do it myself. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
fine. I'm like,
Oh
wait a
yeah.
minute. Am I really fine? Am I really fine?
Right.
Like, ask that, like, be honest with yourself. And if I feel like, say maybe someone asks you, hey, how you doing? And you're not feeling fine, and you maybe express to them, I'm okay. That's good, because you're
Yeah.
accepting that everything's not great. Or maybe change it. Be like, oh my God, I'm so great today. Like, I really, be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And if that person is not the person you want to have that conversation with, if you go, well, I'm having a crappy day, I'm having a shitty day, or that's not the time and space to talk about it, at least be honest. And then say to them, hey, you know what? I am having a shitty day. Do you mind if we talk over at lunch? Would that be cool? Or, I'm okay. Or, I'm just okay. Or, it's all right. And then go into yourself and say, why am I just all right? Like, what's going on that's what my response is? You know, it doesn't always have to
Yeah.
be a communication or a conversation with someone else unless you're comfortable with that. But
Right.
asking myself, well, wow, I just responded, well, yeah, I'm all right. Well, why? Like, what's going on in my world that I'm not feeling like, oh yeah, I'm having a great day? Like, can we distinguish these two and not just placate someone else and be like, yeah, I'm fine, and just blow it off?
Right.
You know, and it's being honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have the potential to have that conversation, you're building a beautiful bond between you and another human being. And that person's going to be like, wow, they trusted me to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Like, that's amazing. You know, we are human beings who are meant to
Right.
connect to each other. We're meant to
Absolutely.
relate.
Yep. Absolutely.
And
And I
that
think,
relationship can be
yeah.
anything. It doesn't have
Yep.
to be romantic. It can be
Right.
friendship, boss,
Yeah.
you know, employee, whatever.
Yep. And
It's
I
really
agree.
just
I
about
think we're
communicating.
losing that sense of community
We really
in
are.
America, especially. I mean, yes, like Malawi and third world countries, they just more like minimalistic over there, and so they don't have all these
Yeah.
distractions and I want it now mentality. Like, people
Yeah.
is really all they have, and they haven't lost that sense of community and the importance of that. Where I
Yeah.
think here it's becoming less and less of a important issue, important part of life, um, and it's a sad thing too, because
Yeah.
there are people. I mean,
Yes.
you sound like it, and I try to reach to people and to have that community time, but finding time with people is hard, or being a priority with them to find that time is
Mhm.
hard, and so
Mhm.
yeah, that sense of community just is dwindling, and I think it's causing a lot of our issues
Mhm.
we see nowadays.
Yeah. And even like let's take it out of a third world country and
Mm,
into, you know, more developed, like Europe, like Spain, for instance. You know, they have everything. They have technology, they have
right.
everything, you know, in that regard, but they still, their work hours are different.
Yep.
Their roots of like their culture is eating together, family
Hmm.
time together, siesta. You know,
Yep.
they take time to rest in the middle of the day. And it's just, it becomes a sense of, again, that community of like, okay, you know, this is our time together to
Right.
spend. And it's not all about work, work, work. It's more about, you know, we in America, we're working to live instead of living to work,
Mm,
you know?
yep.
Like, I
And
live and I
yeah.
want to enjoy my life, and then work is a part of that. Like, I really wish, I wish we could add like 6 more hours into the day, so we could divide
Right.
it up into
Right.
eight, 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 eight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we could just really have some equal, because most people's work days are not 8, they're 10, they're 12, they're
Oh yeah.
16-hour days.
Yep.
And then there is no time for self or family.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
it's really unfortunate.
Yep. I think yeah, the something has to give
Yeah.
um within the lives of people, and I think, yeah, so many times you hear people at the end of their lives like, what do you wish you could have done different? What do you regret? Maybe
And what is it?
I wish I had more time. I wish I would have
Hmm.
spent it with my family or made
Hmm.
those connections. And
Hmm.
no one ever really says, I wish I would have worked more.
Nobody says
No one,
that. And
man, I wish I
often
would
they'll
have
say,
got
I
that
wish I would work
overtime.
less,
Yeah, man,
right?
that overtime, or I should have worked that one Sunday, or
Yeah.
yeah, we we don't realize it now until it's too late, really. And that's hopefully what people listening to this will
Mhm.
hear and remember, and we can maybe leave a positive impact and
Yeah.
change in their lives.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
so on that note, like, how would you suggest, as a healthy habits and empowerment coach, how can others start getting rid of these toxic habits and shift over to a new perspective, a new way to live?
I feel the first thing we can do is start your day, like give yourself a daily routine,
Mm,
like a morning routine and an evening routine. Because how you go to bed is how you're going to wake up, and how you start your day is how your day is going to go.
yeah,
So
that's true. Very
I
true.
can, if I can go to bed in gratitude, if I can go to
Mm,
sleep in a place of gratitude, in a place of just really going, wow, how was my, like, reflection on the day, and setting yourself up for success the next day. Like, say you're maybe you're on a new regimen to work out, right? Like,
hmm.
okay, great, I'm going to work out every morning. I'm going to go for a walk, even if it's
Yeah.
just a walk. You don't have to power to the gym and do a CrossFit, right? Maybe I'm just going to go for a walk. set your gym clothes out, your workout clothes out, put it next to your alarm, or put your alarm across the way from your bed. So you actually have to get your butt out of bed to shut the alarm off. Because usually once you're out of bed, you're
Yep.
like, okay, cool, I'm up.
Right.
And then, put those gym clothes on right away and get to it, right? Get to it. And maybe in that walk is when you reflect and you breathe and you really awaken the body and understand that you're receiving this brand new day. And every day you do wake up is an opportunity to hit the reset button. Like I really want to buy those. I think it's at like Office Depot or whatever that is. The little reset
Oh
button,
yeah. That
little
was
red
easy.
button. That was easy. That was easy. I want to get one of those. I want to get one of those because it's really, I've been learning more and more because I have my own coach for myself and
Awesome.
talking about just having more fun.
Yeah.
I was such a serious person for so many years of my life. I was a competitive gymnast. Everything was rigid, routines and purpose and this and that. And I was so disciplined that I forgot what it was like to have fun. And so really trying to implement fun in your daily life and then getting excited. So I have a sheet that I give my clients
Hmm.
that it's basically how to shift into a great day. So
Nice.
basically just has like, how are you feeling today? So I wake up, I do it every day for myself. I fill it out. How are you feeling in the morning? 1 to 5 and no bullshit. Like really, like, how am I feeling?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I,
Truth.
did I sleep well? Did I eat crappy the day before? And therefore I tossed and turned all night. Like I know for me, if I have sugar at night, I'm probably going to wake up
Oh
sweating at
yeah.
some moment in the night because my body's like,
uh,
but, and then, so how am I feeling honestly? And then how can I shift that? How can I rejuvenate myself if I'm not feeling quite rested? What can I do to energize myself? Well, I can go for a walk. I can meditate. I can sit outside and soak up the sun for a few minutes and just really, breathe into this new day. I mean,
hmm
whatever it is for you, like pick what works for you. And I think it's important that you pick what works for you as an individual and not because someone else does it. Because when you do something else that someone else does and you're like feeling like it doesn't fit, it doesn't
hmm
feel good, then it's not going to work.
Yeah. It almost
And
drains you
then,
more.
yes,
Yeah.
right? So going into the day with how am I feeling? How can I energize myself? And what are my priorities today? What are my top priorities? And why are they my priorities? We have to come back to our why. When we say my priority is to, I don't know, pack lunch for my kids, why? Well, I
Right.
love my kids and I want them to have healthy meals at lunch today.
Yeah.
Right, come back to your why and really let that resonate, let that hit, let that
Mm,
really like land on you. Like, okay, cool, my why is important. Because if your why is a bunch of crap, then that's not a good reason. And maybe there's a different priority that should be up there on that top of the
exactly.
list.
And it was something I read recently, and I can't remember where, of course. But it was the 80%, 20% rule. You look at your stuff and you get rid of the majority of what's really not crucial and what's just kind of
Hmm.
wasting your
Right.
time that you don't have to get done. And then the lesser, the 20%, I believe it was,
Yes.
is the stuff that you really need to focus on and
Yes.
get it done before you get to bed, basically.
Hmm.
Like finish
Yeah,
it somehow, whatever your
exactly.
top tasks are.
Yes,
Cool.
such a good
Yeah.
rule. I agree with you a thousand
Yeah.
percent. It really just, those priorities and then delegate. If you've
Mm.
got a
Oh,
giant
huge.
list, who can you delegate to? Can
Yeah.
you delegate your kid to like sort the white clothes from the dark clothes? Like, can you delegate your best friend to, take the dog for a walk or whatever that might look like?
Yeah.
Delegate in the office space. Like really allow yourself to take the pressure off that I have to do it all and I have to do it alone.
Mm. That's great. Yeah, delegation is
Hmm.
huge and learning
Yeah.
how to use that and then remembering if someone does help you to be ready to return the favor. You don't want to be the one always asking and
Mhm.
never helping.
1,000%.
I
And
know people
then
like that.
what happens when you ask someone and they do what you ask of them
Yeah.
and then they ask back and and now it becomes this beautiful thing.
Yeah.
We're building community.
Yes.
We're
It always
building
goes back to
connection.
community. Yep.
We're
Yeah.
building positive, healthy relationships.
And that's how it should be. It was so many years ago, that's how it was. You just each person had a skill or could do something.
Right?
You helped each other, and you lived
Yes.
in the community.
Yeah.
And you might not have been in the same house or right next to each other, but it was just, I came
Yeah.
from a small town, so that's kind of what I remember
Mm,
growing up. It being
mm,
people would
yeah.
help everybody. You'd always have someone reaching out if you needed something or if
Right.
you knew who to ask,
Yes. You're
and
looking
you
out for
can
each
remember.
other.
Yeah, and that's how, man, I miss that even now in a small town. It's just not it's different and it's not
Mhm.
as prevalent. And so yeah,
Well, I
delegating.
think it's just
Yeah.
we as a society have shifted into, just isolation.
Yeah.
We have our screens, and
Yep.
then
We
what
think that's
we
our community.
yeah, and it's
It's through the
really,
screen, and it's
I mean, it's nice that we can do the FaceTime now
yeah. Oh,
versus
for
just
sure.
talking on the phone, for
Yeah.
sure, 1,000%. But
But
there's
even
gotta
this,
be,
we see each other
mhm,
through the video here.
right.
But
There's
like,
still gotta be human. We crave as human beings contact,
yep.
a hug, a
Oh yeah.
handshake,
Yeah. Physical touch. Yep.
sharing a meal. Yeah, we really crave that.
Yeah.
And to finish up, starting out like
Oh
the day
yeah.
thing is, at the end of the day, celebrate your wins.
Hmm.
We look at our to-do list and we see, because we cross off what we did, right? For the most part, you'll cross it off. That means you don't see it anymore, right? It's crossed
Right.
off.
Yep.
And all you see is all the shit you didn't do yet. You're like, oh my God, I didn't do all this. Oh my God, where did my day go? How did I not get this all? So
Guilty.
the only thing you see is everything you didn't do yet.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like, can I go back and maybe instead of crossing off your list, highlight it.
Hmm.
Be like, there's my highlight of the day. I did this, I did this, I did this. This is awesome. These are my wins. This is what I accomplished today. So you go to bed feeling like supercharged, like you're a superhero.
That's awesome. Highlighting,
Yeah.
man, just one little change, highlighting versus
Highlight instead
crossing.
of
I never
crossing
thought
off.
about that. That's a great point. I'm gonna
Simple.
hopefully start using that because I'm definitely guilty of. Well, I got this,
We
but
all are.
man, I missed all that. So yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
no, no, but the gratitude and then the reflection, I think, are huge.
Yeah. Yeah. So when
Um,
you go to bed and you're feeling good.
yeah,
Even if you had a couple of moments that were crap in the day, that's okay.
yeah,
We're human. We're allowed to have shitty days. Like,
right,
every day doesn't have to be perfect. But be like, okay, this happened and it didn't feel so good. How did I handle it? Do I feel like I handled it with integrity? Do I feel like I handled it with with grace?
mm,
And if you didn't, like, say you lashed out on someone, just take responsibility. Pick up
right.
the
Own
phone
it.
the next day, own it, and be like, hey, you know what? I was having a crappy day and I said XYZ and I really didn't mean that. I mean, again, building community, building
Yep.
friendships, building
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah. You're not gonna be sunshine and
Mm,
rainbows to everybody all the time. You're gonna
mm,
slip up, and being
yeah,
able to be mature about it, and like we said, own it, and
yeah.
then
Just take
miss it and go.
responsibility,
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
And
huge
apologize
step.
with the extra step of, I'm working on it, or I
Mm,
realize, instead of just saying, oh, I'm sorry, and like that's
right.
it.
Yeah.
When you apologize, when you say, hey, I'm sorry I said XYZ or I did XYZ, and I'm working on it. I am aware of it, and I'm working on not repeating that pattern again. And
Right.
as a receiver, I would encourage us as humans not to say, oh, it's okay, because then you're telling the person it's okay. Instead, say, I appreciate your apology. I accept your apology. So then they receive, okay, wow, they recognize that I messed up or
Yeah.
whatever that looks like,
Yeah.
and they're accepting of my mistakes or my mishaps. Not just be like, oh, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay means it's
Because
okay to do it
it
again.
wasn't okay.
It's not
Not
okay.
really. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's using our language. Our language is very conflicting nowadays, you
Mm,
know?
yep.
You know? So simple. So simple things like, if someone says, oh, I can't make it to lunch and they're canceling on you. Oh, no worries. And so I'm telling them it's okay. Like, no worries. Like,
Right.
I'm worrying about something. No, I'm not worried. It's all good. Let's reschedule.
Yeah.
So it's like changing that different language.
Yeah. Or even if you're really looking forward to it. Oh man, that's disappointing. But I understand. Like
Hmm.
just being that
Yeah, bummed. I was really
upfront.
looking forward
Yeah.
to that. But hey, when can we get together?
Yeah.
Reschedule.
Yep. Being
Yeah.
using more words, I guess,
Yeah. Using
rather
your
than
language more
just
clearly.
yep. Perfect.
Hmm.
More clearly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. Those are things that like definitely I find myself needing to work on instead of
We
just
all
a
are.
blanket statement. But I think that's the key is to realize where we need to start the change and start putting into practice. However that might be,
Yeah.
getting a coach, asking your
Hmm.
spouse, a buddy, whatever it is. Hey,
Hmm.
you see me just being complacent and saying, yeah, that's okay, or
Hmm.
I'm good. Call me out.
Hmm.
Like, hey, we're in this community
Yes, invite that
together.
open.
Yeah, yeah,
Invite that. Hey, you know what? I know I'm not perfect. And if I turn out to be an asshole one day, will you tell me? Like, if
yeah.
I do
Let me
something
know.
really stupid, will you just say something so I know that?
Hmm.
And that's how we build strong relationships.
Yeah.
And I really think, one of the key elements that I would encourage everyone that's listening is to do the one thing that absolutely needs to be done,
Mm,
is breathe. When we breathe, we have clarity. We have focus in our mind. Like say someone asks you a question and you're like, most of us, we react. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
You know, especially if we're defensive and getting angry. So if I can take a breath and just hold my hand on my stomach and go, I gave my mind a moment to clear and focus and understand what was being asked so that I could respond instead of react.
Yeah.
I can respond from the truth of wherever I'm at and sink into what is really coming up.
That's a great point. I think there's an app called I Breathe that I would use, take time to kind of just follow while I was learning how to take better breaths and take different types of stress relieving breaths and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I find myself now just doing it like on the fly when needed, like you said, and it's really a game changer because you just take that step back and you kind of let your body calm down. The fight and flight response that your brain's putting out kind of like gets to calm down. Okay, this isn't that big a deal. How am I going to respond now? And you can kind of have a clear mind, like you said. I think that's huge, and I think it is up there as the top thing we can do to start responding better. Yeah,
the simplest thing you can do.
Absolutely.
It's
You
such
do
an
it
easy
right,
tool.
you just learn to do it better, and that's
You decide consciously to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Choice is yours.
And if we really think about like the big picture, okay, we are animals. We're like tigers are tigers, lions are lions, humans, they're all animals. We are still animals. We're just upright now. So our instincts, our intuition, and our like spidey senses, if we tap in, is where we're going to get the clarity and the ability to connect on a very conscious level to have meaningful relationships in our lives.
Yeah, we definitely have to work on that community. It has to be a choice that we make every day, because we can help each other. There's stuff
but that starts with working on ourselves.
Yes. Yep. It has to.
You know, we have to fill up our cup.
I was about to say the same thing. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. If we're empty, then
forget it.
We got nothing. We got nothing to give.
No, we have stuff to give. We have anger, we have resentment, we have frustration,
the stuff we don't want to give. Right.
We have all the negative stuff.
Absolutely.
A ton of it, you know.
Yeah. That's perfect.
For sure.
Well, that's been good. I have a couple questions I want to end with. I try to end with something unique. It's kind of off topic a little bit, but if you could, if there could be one fictional character come to life, who would you choose to bring to life and why?
A fictional character?
Yeah.
To come to life. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I guess like, this is going to sound funny, but like Little Mermaid.
Yeah. That's
because
awesome.
I want to know what's under the sea.
Yeah.
Like I want to know what's down there more. And like, I mean, I scuba dive.
Okay.
But like not to the depths of like the endless possibilities of the abyss that what's down there. Like I'm so curious, but I'm scared. I will only go to like 40 meters. I get scared when anything else. I'm like, oh my God, it's so dark and it gets really like it's So I'm not a deep diver. So I would say like I want to go down further and curious.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because I couldn't think of an astronaut. No. I also want to go to the moon, but I couldn't think of a fictional character that goes up. So
Captain Marvel. There you go.
There you go.
She could go out there.
Okay,
that's
there
awesome.
You go.
And the second one, what can we do each day that will leave a positive impact on the world?
First, not use straws. Step away from using plastic or plastic in general.
There you go.
Straws is the biggest number one thing in our fish and our turtles and our seas.
Yep.
And so that's like for Mother Earth. And then for ourselves, the biggest impact is really just breathe so that you're focused and clear when you connect with another and with yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Amie, thank you so much. We learned a lot. I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris. What a joy, what a pleasure. And I hope everyone enjoys this. Oh, I do have a freebie. Guys, if you want to, here's something I would love to offer. It's a 7-day starter kit.
Oh, here we go.
You just have to go to my website, fullfitmindbody.com, and this 7-day starter kit will get you started on all the topics that Chris and I were just talking about how to get your mindset into a better positive state of mind. It gives you fun insight onto ways to do that. So you don't have to like guess about it. You're like, I give you ideas to like plug into your day. It also helps you keep on track with like your health and wellness. Like, how are you doing with your workouts, your diet, not I won't say the word diet, your eating habits, your nutrition, your water intake, your veggie intake, like things like that on a daily basis that we can really look at the big picture and go, okay, great. I did great on Monday. Okay, Tuesday could have been a little better. Great. Oh my gosh, Wednesday knocked it out of the park. So you're really tracking, because when we can really tangibly see something, as humans,
Hmm.
we're very visual learners. We can really understand what I can get better at and what I'm improving on and what I'm freaking knocking out of the ballpark. So it's a
Awesome.
7-day starter kit to really track, you know, meditations and ideas of keeping anxiety and depression at its you know, at its low, so it
Mm,
doesn't overtake your life like it
for
did for mine
sure.
for a while. And just really, so it's super fun, it's super
Awesome.
accessible. And just pop onto my website, Full
Yeah.
Fit Mind Body, or just email me directly at amy@fullfitmindbody.com. I'd be more than happy to send you over
Yeah.
that PDF to
And
print
you
out
guys
and
can all
enjoy.
check out the show notes, that information, her website,
Yes.
her email will be down there for you guys, and how to get a
Yay.
hold of her. That's a great
Yes.
deal, guys. So you want to definitely jump on that,
Yes.
uh, and start your path to a healthier, more empowered life for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Well,
All right,
thanks again,
everyone.
Amy.
Thanks, Chris. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.